All right.
Yeah, cigarette, bro.
Yo, what's your name, man?
My name's Timmy, but they call me Drummer.
What up, man? Where you from, man?
I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx. Bronx and New Rochelle.
Bronx in the building. That's what's up, my guy.
Boogie down all day, every day.
That's what's up,
Uptown
bro.
boogie, woogie, woogie. All right, that's what's up.
So this is Tales. This is Tales from the Streets. So I just like to ask people, like, what's their most deepest story or most meaningful story
and
that
this
happened
deep.
to them?
It's me and my dad,
life.
and it's a coming of age story, so it fits the bill like perfect.
All right.
Like this is the only one you want. All right, so you ready?
Yeah, I'm cooking.
All right. Let's kick it back to like somewhere in like the late 80s, right? My mom comes home early from work and she kicks open the bedroom door and I got my girlfriend's fucking legs, man, straight up in the air, man. And I'm fucking like a grown man, so I got caught. My mother flips the fuck out, right? Bugs out. Wait till your father gets home, yada, yada, yada. So I didn't hear nothing about it, right? Till the next day. But then the next day, my father wakes me up at night, right? He shakes me awake and he says, "Get up. You ain't got to go to school tomorrow. You're coming to work with me." Now, sidebar, my father, he drove a truck for the post office. But he didn't drive for the post office. He drove the mail. So he would go to the airport and he would pick up the bulk mail and he would drive it to all the local post offices around Westchester County, New Rochelle, Mount Vernon, Yonkers. He'd go to all them spots in Long Island, all the way down to East 3rd Street, like we do all the post office in the Bronx. So, you know, he had 2 or 3 routes. That's what he did overnight. And I love going to work with him. But this time he did it on a school night. So I'm wondering what's going on. So now it's different than any other night that I go to work with my dad, man. He's making me stay awake. He won't let me go to sleep. We're driving the truck. So we get down to the first spot we always get to. There's always a roach coach down there, right? It's right down the street from St. Anne's Avenue where we live. And there's always a roach coach out there. So he goes out there and he says, "Come on, man, we're going to get some grown man coffee, some cafe con leche," right? We get up there, we get our little coffee with the milk. And then the roach coach guy comes out and he hands my old man a box of fucking coffees. There's like 15 coffees in this fucking thing. I was like, well, this ain't never happened before. But he's like, all right.
What is going on, right?
So my dad looks at me and he goes, "Yo, Timbo, take the coffee." He said, "Don't touch the coffee. That's not a coffee." I was like, all right. So I touched the coffee. I get in the truck. He gets in the truck. We leave. We go about 2 blocks around the corner. He pulls over and he pulls the truck away. He beeps the horn. And like 15 fucking hookers come out of nowhere. And they're all like, and most of them, thank for the love of God, most of them are Puerto Rican, really hot Boricuas. They're like, "Oh, Lady, what's going on? How you doing? What's going on?" Right? So they're out. And he's like, "Yo, give me the coffee." So like all these fucking hookers come out, man, and they're like, "Oh, Larry," and they see me, they're like, "Oh, is that your boy? We got tournament on mine today. How you doing, little man? Are you Larry's son?" So he's giving them coffees and shit, right? So they have their fun. I'm bugging out that all these hookers know my dad on a first name basis. I'm like fucking 12. I'm like, what the fuck's going on, right? So he's like, all right. So he's like, all right, girls, gotta go. So he gets back in the truck. I get in the truck. Burp, burp. He takes off as we're leaving. And this is one of the most important parts of the story. My father is from the Bronx. He's an Italian motherfucker from Westchester County, New Rochelle, the Bronx. He ain't never used the word Dems. D-E-M-S. I ain't never heard that shit in my whole fucking life. But this one time, he looks at me and he goes, "You see Dems?" And I was like, "Yeah, Dems." So he's like, "Yeah, you see Dems?" He says, "Dems ducks." I was like, all right. He said, "No." He said, "Say it. Dems ducks." I said, "All right, Dems ducks." He said, "All right, Dems ducks." So I fall back in the seat, right? So we're going, right? So I fall asleep like I do as a little kid, you know, and he does his whole route, his fucking... So now it's like the sun is coming up and he wakes me up, shakes me awake. And we're on the lower side of Manhattan now because we already been to LaGuardia, right? We got the small load. Then he goes back to Kennedy Airport. He gets the big fucking load, and he goes. So now he's almost done. We're on the fucking down by South Street, man, way down by like 3rd Street, like way fucking down on the south tip of Manhattan, right? And so he stops. And he stops into the Roach Coach, and he gets us 2 coffees from the Roach Coach, and he goes to the donut store. And the sun is just coming up, dude. And he comes out, and he's got this big box of fucking donuts, right? And he fucking gives me the box of donuts, right? He goes, "Don't touch the donuts, they're not ours." So I'm like, what the fuck, you know? So I'm sitting there. I do my second shot of coffee to stay awake, you know. So we go around the corner. He toots the horn, and I shit you not, the same shit happened, man. Motherfuckers, hookers came out, man. They came out in fucking droves out on the corner of 3rd Street and 3rd Avenue. And like way down there by South Street. And I'll tell you what, man, there was hookers, but they came out and it was like, "Hola, Daddy, how you doing?" And they had Adam's apples and shit. bitches had on fucking mini skirts with a fucking beard and shit. Like they didn't give a fuck, dude. They were the tranny hookers, and they knew what them motherfuckers were talking about. And man, they came out and they knew my old man, dude, by the first day. "Hola, Daddy, how you doing?" So he starts handing out the fucking donuts, right? So we got coffees for the hookers and donuts for these other motherfuckers. So I'm fucking still freaking out. I don't know what's going on, man. We have some donuts, and they said the same shit. They ran the same thing. "Oh, you want us to turn them into a man? What's what a real lady does?" Dudes with beards and skirts and like shoes that don't fucking fit. You know what I'm saying? Fucking knuckles sticking up out of high heels. It was fucking ridiculous, man. But them motherfuckers were there, man, loud and proud. They were like, "Ugh." So my old man tells me I get back in the truck. I took my donut, I got back in the truck. So we're driving up, we're spinning off, burp. He waves goodbye, Daddy, take it easy. And he goes, "All right, man." He passed me on the arm. He says, "You remember them's ducks?" And I was like, "Yeah, I remember them's ducks." He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Well, them's decoys." He said, "Your mom told me she busted your room door down the other day and caught you fucking knees up in the air, asshole touching the ceiling, fucking your girlfriend. So if you're out there like that, I gotta tell you, man, we live in the Bronx, so you gotta learn to tell the difference between a duck and a decoy. So you okay now?" I was like, "Yo, Pop, I'm good." He said, "All right, ducks and decoys?" I was like, "Yeah, them's ducks, them's decoys." He said, "Welcome to manhood." And that's a true fucking story.
Good shit, man. We out.
Ducks and decoys, baby.